Hi, I'm Sylvia Tiala, and today we're going to take a look at the Modela mini mill. I have my safety glasses on and I'm ready to go. The Modela mini mill takes drawings that you draw on the computer, usually using Eagle software or something of that nature, and we import it into a program from MIT called a Fab module. The Fab modules then export the milling program to the machine where it cuts out circuits. It can be used to cut other applications as well, such as wax, but we'll deal with that later. So right now we'll take a look at the major parts of the machine. If you take a look at the Modela, when you come up here, you'll see a panel that operates the machine as well as a clear safety shield. If you remove the safety shield, you'll see the major workings on the inside of the Modela. We have the two guide bars here, and we have this wire here that takes the carriage and moves it left and right along the x-axis. We also have a spindle holder here, which holds a small tool bit, such as this. And that inserts into a holder here that's tightened by an Allen wrench. The spindle holder moves the milling bit up and down along the z-axis. The plate on the bottom that you fasten your work to is going to move back and forth along the y-axis. So with all of these different controls, you're able to mill out a part in 3 dimensions along both an x, y, and z axis. You always want to make sure you have a scrap plate underneath your work so you don't mill into the actual table that's holding your work. If you take a look at the keypad over here on the right, this is what's going to help control the work and control the machine. So the power button is this green button that turns the machine off and on. The view button will allow you to see your work. So if you're in the middle of machining and you want to stop and see your work, or if you want to resume work or view where the XY point is going to come with the tool bit, you can press the view button and it'll show you where your work's going to land. If you press it a second time while the machine or program's running, you'll be able to look at your work to see how the work's coming along. The up and down buttons serve 2 functions. When you first come over to the machine, you can use the up-down buttons and press them simultaneously to clear out any previous program. It's a good idea to do that before you start any kind of milling. Additionally, when you first come to set up the work, you can control the z-axis by pushing up and down on these 2 buttons right here. That will help you set the axis. Finally, when you're ready to run your program, you want to make sure you use the safety shield, and that's in place when the machine's running so that you don't have any chips flying out and you don't get anything caught in the machine. We've covered the major portions on the front of the machine. Let's take a look at the back. The back of the Modela is pretty simple. You have 2 connections. One is the power supply. That should be connected for you. The other connection that will also be made for you is the parallel printer cable that goes to the computer. They'll be there connected for you and you shouldn't have to worry about it. So let's take a look at some of the basic safety rules that you're going to need to operate the Modela without getting hurt. First, make sure that the safety shield is in place whenever you're running the machine. It'll help prevent you from getting caught in the machine or protect you from anything that might fly off the machine. The other thing to note is that if you have chips on the machine, don't use your fingers to get them off. Use either a shop vac or take a toothbrush and wipe off any kinds of crumbs or slivers or shavings you might have. That'll help protect your fingers. The other thing you want to make sure is that the area around the mill is clean. Don't have a lot of clutter here. And if there's any unusual smells, make sure that you turn the machine off and get help. there might be something wrong with the motors or something else that might be starting to have bearings burn or something not working correctly. Just get some help if you smell any unusual odors or hear any unusual sounds. Also, make sure you wear these safety glasses, and it will be helpful if you make sure you keep your fingers away from the ends of the bits. And also, when you're putting the bits into the machine and taking them out, make sure you don't stab yourself with those tiny bits. They're quite sharp and can cut you. Don't reach into the machine when the machine is moving. And if you observe all of those, you'll have a fun and safe experience using the Modela mini mill. I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, you don't really have to